Hello, my name is Clayton, and welcome to episode number 100 of the Watch Dog podcast. I'm a professional dog runner and watch enthusiast talking to his pals about dogs and watches. Thank you so much for listening. You know I appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well. We have a special treat for episode 100. I know I said I wasn't going to do anything too big, but couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk to an old dear friend making his 15th appearance on the podcast. Had to be him for 100, right? My pal, Sanjay, engineer Wannabe. Sir, how are you? At long last, reunited.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing well. So happy to have you. I know you're busy. You have a lot of life changes going on. We're going to get into all of that, but we had a little technical difficulties here. You can't see me, but I can see you. Your sweet, handsome face. So I'm so happy this morning. Thanks for waking up early.
Oh no, thank you. Because I've been waking up at 4:30 a.m. for the past, how long has it been? 8 months since I've been MIA. So yeah, it's a normal time for me, but it's probably rough for you.
No, I've been actually, weird sleep schedule. So I get up early too. It's, I think probably like you, and I don't have kids, you have little ones, but for me, it's just a time to be quiet, sip on coffee, catch up on some work, social media, whatever it might be. So it's just a nice, relaxing time. So I'd much rather be awake at 4 a.m. than like 10 p.m. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good choice. So you regularly wake up at like 4 a.m.?
Yes. Today I got up even earlier. So yeah, I've been having some, we don't have to go into this at all, but yeah, just some trouble sleeping a little bit. So I'll pass out and then wake up and then not be able to go back to sleep. So as long as I can get 6 hours, it's good. But that 6 hours, the time it happens varies every night. So like today, I think I got up at 2:30 and yeah. Well, who can, it's like a kid on Christmas, knew I was going to talk to you, so I couldn't sleep, of course.
Yeah. It's quite the occasion, right? No. Yeah, for me, I think I make it. I just barely make it to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Then I just crash and don't really have trouble sleeping these days.
Yeah, I know. As far as tired as I am, I shouldn't have trouble. I guess it's trouble staying asleep, but falling asleep, is no problem. Staying asleep is the trick.
I see. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's hard. I don't know what you can do for that.
Drugs, probably.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that would be rough. That would be debilitating.
Yeah, like I think I got like, I don't know, what time did I fall asleep? Probably got 5 hours, and then I don't know. My body should need more than that, but it's like I have this like automatic alarm every night between like 5 and 6 hours of sleep. I just wake up and I'm like, that's it. Time to get up.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm going to slowly phase out caffeine, I think. Okay. That's causing some other issues too. So I think that's not going to be easy, and I have to do it gradually. But I think I'm going to work on just maybe having a little to none, maybe just on the weekends or something, because I think that'll help me.
Wait, so when do you have your last cup of coffee?
Typically, I just have like a couple cups in the morning, and I've dramatically decreased the amount of coffee I use because I like it really strong. And I've also stopped using creamer or anything, which slows it down. Like if I put half and half in coffee or something, I can slam back a few in the morning. But if I drink it black, then it's hotter, and just I end up sipping it. So I drink less, and then I've made it a little weaker as well. Occasionally, I'll do like an espresso in the afternoon when I get home. That's a habit I probably need to kick because that might be interfering, but I don't do that every day. But yeah. So maybe just one caffeinated cup and then go to decaf. I don't know. I feel like decaf just like defeats the enjoyment of coffee altogether, but I don't know. I can get used to it maybe. It still tastes like coffee.
Yeah. Well, so when you get home in the afternoon, what time would that normally be?
I
Like,
between 4 and 4:30.
okay, yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah, yeah. I try not to do that
I,
every day because I recognize that that's not good. What did they say? You shouldn't have any after 3 p.m.?
I think it's like noon.
Oh, God.
You should. I try to stop coffee. I mean, I only have one cup anyway a day, but if my cup lasts past noon, I kind of try to dump it out or chug it down so that it's not interfering with my restful sleep. Like, because I'll be able to fall asleep, but then I think I've heard that your sleep is less restful.
Okay.
So you'd be more prone to waking up in the middle of the night or something along those lines. Don't quote me. It's been a while since I heard that, but who knows what new information has come out since then. But it's been like for the past 4 or so years, I have a coffee in the morning, maybe a second one a little later, but then I stop.
Okay, you're much more wise than I am. I'm a little too reckless with it, but as I get older, I'm realizing that I think it's a real issue with sleep, and I think it can be linked to panic attacks and stuff too, which I feel
Oh,
myself
really?
trending towards a little bit. So yeah, just I might just try to quit it altogether. I actually just placed an order on Amazon for some which is supposed to be really good decaffeinated coffee. So if I like it, maybe we'll just drink that.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the flavor of coffee, then decaf I think
Yeah,
doesn't really
taste any
destroy
different.
the flavor
Right,
of coffee. Yeah.
right.
So
I don't know. It still feels like kissing
yeah,
your
go for
sister
it.
to me in a way, but I don't know. I'll have to get used to it.
There's a praise I've never heard before.
Yeah. And that's why we love you. You're pure. uh,
Ah,
but anyway, so
what's
we're going to get into a lot of stuff because, as you mentioned, you have been MIA, but a lot of reasons for that. But yeah, I'm just so happy to see your face. And
it's good to see you. I mean, kind of see you.
yeah,
But what's on your wrist? What's
so
the wrist check?
we have not talked about watches in months, literally. So I have no idea where you are with watches. That's what we're going to find out. We're excited about it. I've slowed down buying this year too. I'm not sure I'm as much of a new man as you are in terms of buying habits. I've only sold one watch this year, so I guess I've slowed down
Okay.
that way too. But I am. You can't see it. I'm wearing a new acquisition. I'm not sure if you're
Oh,
familiar. Breitling did NFL themed chronomats, the B01. So I bought
okay.
a Detroit Lions Breitling Chronomat B01. I thought it was a silly idea when I
Wow.
heard the news. Like, oh, what a Breitling. Come on. What are you doing? They have a logo on the subdial at 9 o'clock. It's very
Okay.
small. So then I saw the Detroit Lions version and I thought, oh, I actually really like that. And the Lions are good. So I felt like I should probably, support the team. Um, I don't know if I told you.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, some of them aren't good.
Oh,
A lot of them don't look good. But the logo I think is tastefully done. It's the subdial with the running seconds. So a lot of the time you can't even tell there's a logo in person, especially. It's very small. We look at images blown up online. We don't really look at watches that way in real life. So. But it's a really nice watch.
it is. That's a nice blue,
Yeah,
which is your favorite color, right?
yeah. Well, yeah. And then I had to go Honolulu blue for the Lions. So I
I
know some
see.
of the teams are not as well done. They did one for every NFL team. So 32. There's 104 examples of each team.
Hmm.
I have the
Oh, that's
booklet.
it?
Yeah, that's it. It's very limited.
Wow.
I think they're. I don't know. I've heard conflicting reports. Like I tried to get one of these. Obviously, I don't live in Michigan anymore. And both of the authorized dealers I deal with are not in Michigan. So they got teams specific to their region. So I ended up going through Topper. And shout out to
Huh.
Jay. she was able to got me a good deal. Yeah, hooked me up with a Detroit Lions watch. It took a little work. I guess Breitling only had like one left they could sell, and it was on the rubber strap. So ended up getting a bracelet for it as well. But I haven't taken it off the rubber strap yet because it's sporty and pretty comfortable strap actually. So
Yeah. Wow. Congrats.
yeah,
That's pretty big.
I think I told you I bought an aerospace that had
Okay.
issues. I had to send it back.
Yep.
They're all having
I remember
issues apparently, and ended up getting refunded. My AD
Really?
told me that it was going to take so long to get repaired that she felt terrible and would happily give me a full refund. This was a couple months after I bought the watch, and I said, "Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to take you up on it. I'm over it.
Wow.
I had it for a little while, and then it didn't work right away, and I think that little taste was enough for me. I'm good. So yeah, I'll take my money." So
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're looking forward to spending time with that watch, if it immediately has to go into the manufacturer, I feel like that kind of like muddies the experience to the point where I don't know, maybe I'm just shallow.
no, it
To the
does.
point where, it kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Or yeah, even if the watch came back, I'd be like, whatever.
Yep.
It's going in the chopping block.
Right. Yeah, I am trying not to. It's not as fun to sell as it was a couple of years ago, obviously, with the watch market and everything. And prices have gone down, so we get even less if we trade in, or people are really expecting deals through a private seller, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I've slowed down on selling a whole lot. I just want to buy, I guess, my new man phase. I just want to buy watches that I know I'm going to keep and have them be a little more meaningful. And then there's just other expenses too. So, yeah, I had money saved up really because of the Breitling refund. And I just was waiting for the right one to come along, and it was this. So a bit of an expensive watch, but like I said, I did get a good deal on it, and it's a watch that I will. It's a keeper because I love the Lions. I can pass this to my nephews and family. They're all Lions fans, so somebody will take this when old Uncle Clayton dies. And second, like, who's gonna buy a Lions watch? I'll lose my shirt on this if I ever wanted to sell it. So for those reasons, I think it's a keeper.
Yeah. And it's B01. It's going to work. It's going to work for a long time.
Yep. It's it wears really nicely too. I was a little afraid of how it was going to wear, but it's automatic chronograph. It's a bit chunky, but not too bad.
Yeah. 42 mil, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Like 50 lug to lug, so it just it works on my wrist, and yeah, it's the blue is sensational in person, and yeah, that logo is really tastefully done. Like, I think they could have made it a little too cheesy or gone a little too far with the novelty aspect, but the logo is really small, and like I said, that subdial hand like blocks it out 60% of the time, where you can't really even tell what's there. So on the Lion, anyway, some logos are shaped differently, obviously, for the other teams, but with the Lion, it works that way. So.
Yeah, I thought it looked really good, and when I looked up a picture, it actually took me a while to find the logo.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and it was a blown up picture. So I think it's really, really well done. So
yeah, it's a cool watch. So I talked about this in a couple episodes ago. I went to a Grand Seiko event. I showed you pictures, I think, of all the models I saw. But one of the salespeople was wearing a chronomat there, and I tried his on, and then it just reaffirmed, like, okay, I could totally wear this. And he has skinnier wrists than me, and it looked good on him. So yeah. Met Joe Kirk. That was cool. I thought of you. I wished I could have gone to a Grand Seiko event with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Celebrity now, right? I bet he's even more popular than he was when I was around. But
when you were
cool.
when you were in the watch game, he was right there. We opened the door and boom, there he was. I was like, holy crap, Joe Kirk. I had no idea he was going to be there. And he was actually talking about Creedor. He was standing in front of a couple of Creedor models, so he went right into Creedor, and we talked about that. before we even got into Grand Seiko.
Yeah. Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to meet him one day.
Yeah, he's really nice. He was double wristing Grand Seikos.
Isn't he always?
Yeah, he always is. He had his 8-day. That watch it's huge, and he had it on a really great strap too. The strap he had it on everybody was asking him about the strap more than the watch. I think it was a really nice, really nice strap.
Wow. Yeah. I'd like to see that. His 8-day, that's the gold? Is it
Yeah,
gold?
like rose gold.
Right.
Yeah.
With the brown dial?
Yeah,
Is that the one he got? Yeah, okay.
What a combo.
Huh, yeah. Too big.
Yeah, it's really, for the type
for
of watch it is too, it's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice piece.
Yeah.
Especially that spring drive, 8-day spring drive.
Yeah.
Really cool movement.
Yeah, he was wearing it, and then they had one on display for us to like handle also. But yeah, I put it on. It was just a little big, but pretty to look at and expensive. If I'm buying something that expensive, not that I ever would, A, but B, it's got to fit well.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's pretty thick, if I recall correctly, right?
Yep. Chunky, big diameter. Obviously, just a regular 3-hander, so that's going to wear bigger than a 43 millimeter dive watch, of course.
Yeah. Interesting.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm wearing my favorite Grand Seiko. It's the SPG W297. So the baby of the SPG Y003, which was my favorite watch prior to this. But this, yeah. I'm wearing it on a green deluxe strap.
Oh yeah, very nice.
I didn't think it would work, but it looks really good.
Looks good from here.
Yeah, especially for the fall season. Yeah, it's been a great watch, and like I'd be working. So my new job is pretty intense, and I don't have much time to think about watches, let alone look at my watch. But when I'm wearing this watch, I always stop and stare at it. Yeah, every other watch I kind of almost forgotten about in a sense, like during the day, which is really weird. But we can kind of maybe talk about how things have changed, at least for watch collecting and watch enthusiasm for me, at least.
Yeah.
but yeah, with this watch, because the way the light hits the dial and the radial pattern on it, it just catches your eye, and then you lose a few moments. So
yeah, that happens to me often.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to happen to me with every watch, but yeah, this is the only one that's maintaining that. So.
I guess that's a good segue into a main topic. We had thrown a couple things around, but why don't we talk about that? Because I think a lot of people who care about you and followed your videos and your live streams and listened to you on the podcast, you have sort of disappeared from the watch space. I think that's a healthy thing that a lot of us want to do. I know certain life circumstances came up that, pushed you that way, or that, you kind of had to go that way. But yeah, tell us what it's like to go from 60 to 0, like slam on the watch brakes, if you will, and just completely sort of go from, because I'm, pretty obsessed all the time. I have been for almost 6 years now. And I've never really had that sort of, fast stop where the e-brake gets pulled on the hobby. So yeah, tell us what that's like.
Well, I don't think I went from 60 to 0, so to speak. I feel like maybe my engine stalled and I coasted for a while. Okay. And then I got the engine running again for a bit.
Yes.
And then it just completely blew up. Not in terms of like, I'm not, the metaphor kind of breaks. I'm not burnt out or anything, but in terms of like the watch hobby, I guess, in making content and spending time with you guys. But I also want to address how rude it is of me to just completely disappear.
It's not rude.
But I mean, It kind of is. There's so many people that I haven't spoken to, and I haven't. I mean, I probably could make the time to sit down and send a message to everyone, but I just haven't had the mental capacity for one, and for the other part, it's been like time is super accelerated right now, and I can't believe it's been however long it's been, 4 months since the last video or the last live stream that I did. So, yeah, I think I mentioned that on the live stream too, that I can't believe how quick time is going, but time is going super crazy quick. You know how they say if you're learning new things every day, time slows down?
Yes.
I don't know if you heard that, but there's like this theory that the reason time goes slow when you're kids is because you're learning everything is new.
Huh.
I think that's a bunch of, I don't know, nonsense. Because yeah, I'm learning new things. I'm like agonizing over details right now, and I have been for the past 7 months, and time's just accelerated to unthinkable levels. Um,
Yeah.
so
When you're
yeah,
immersed, I mean, time flies by. It's like, when you're at work and you're watching the clock, time goes by forever. But when you're busy and you're learning new things, I mean, it just flies. You actually want there to be more time. My work day goes by too fast sometimes because I'm in such a hurry and the clock works against you. It's funny how time can be like a mind game. When you want it to
yeah,
slow down, it doesn't, and vice versa.
yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, so I want to apologize to like any one of you guys who are listening. So many, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna name names, but I am thinking of you guys. It's just by the time I get to a computer, where I can send a message, um, it's already out of my head. So I am thinking of you guys, and I apologize for being so um, unreliable in terms of friendship, at least. But um, yeah, the other thing is I'm in the middle of nowhere. I think I mentioned this before. The new place I'm working at, in the middle of nowhere, and no cell phone reception, and they're really like strict in terms of what they expect of you, but which is not unfair. But they expect you to be working when you're on their dime, so to speak, right? And they've given you break periods where you can do whatever you want,
Right.
but when you're working, you're working. You shouldn't be checking your personal emails and stuff like that. And I find that fair. I know a lot of people don't like that rigidity, and it doesn't work for a lot of people. But the people who it works for, I think, stick around. But yeah, so like all that put together, I think makes for, and the new baby which came in April. So
Congratulations.
he's thank you. He's 6 months old now, and he's crawling. He's already crawling. And the other thing is, like my family, when I am home, I'm so um, I miss them a lot. So I actually am more present with them with the less time that I have with them, I think,
Yeah.
than I used to be before, where I used to be just hanging around with them and, sending messages to everyone, and, replying to YouTube comments and stuff like that. But now I'm just like, I don't want the phone anywhere near me, whatever. It's out of the room. And, just the hour or two that I get with them, I try to be more there with them, you know?
Yep.
So like, yeah, all that kind of compounds into not being able to sustain a creative YouTube channel. um, yeah, so I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
Oh,
yeah,
certainly. I think those of us that know you don't think it's rude. They understand that you've started a new job that you're putting everything into to try to be the best at it. We know that you do that, and that's your personality. So, and then, yeah, we know that you have a family, a growing family. So I don't think it's rude at all.
yeah,
I understand. And I just like to check in on, make sure you're okay. But
yeah,
other than that, I totally get it, and I don't find it rude at all. We can go, a long time without talking. This is the first time we've talked like this in quite a few months. We've been on Watch
yeah,
Soup, but in this, you haven't been on the podcast in well over a year. So, and we can
yeah.
It's just like we recorded last week. So I love that.
Yeah.
That with the best of friends in life. I have friends from high school that I haven't seen in many years. You get together and it's just you pick up right where you left off, and we can do that. So yeah, I don't think you're rude.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And yeah, it is that there's like that shift of, trying to do my best. And before I was already very good, not to sound proud or something, but I was pretty good at detailing. Um, and I didn't have to put much thought into that work. So
Right.
I was able to participate, even though the situation of being underground and not having reception was similar. I could still, listen to the podcast and put my mind on watches while I did that work. But I am really bad at computer aided design or engineering.
Yeah, you're not a wannabe
uh,
anymore. You're an engineer now.
Engineering training, but yeah, it's pretty humbling in a sense, and I like that. I like that I'm really bad at this. Well, no, I don't like that, but I I like
Challenge.
the it's I like the fact that it's bringing me lower. Like talking with a lot of the welders or my boss. You can tell like uh, the smirk that they have on their face when I ask them like a really dumb question in their eyes, right? Like to them, it's like, oh yeah, whatever, this is obvious, and I'm like, well, what is this? What did you just say? And you see like a little small smirk prop up, and you're like, oh man, I should know this, but um,
Well, it shows
but
them
yeah,
that you're
it's
interested and that you're asking questions. Like I always, yeah, I don't know. If somebody asks me questions, I look at that as a positive. And
right.
if you ask me the same question a bunch of times and then you don't show initiative, that I might get annoyed. But yeah, if you want to learn something, I'm happy to whatever it might be. If I've been doing it for a long time, like if someone were to come up to me and ask me about starting a business, like I have a friend who is going down that path now, and he wants to get together for dinner just to pick my brain, what it's like, what to expect. Happy to do that, and no silly questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think I can kind of feel that because like before I was kind of avoiding the dumb questions. I mean, not the dumb question, but almost any question, and trying to figure it out on my own. Um, but yeah, the other shocking thing is that they've kept me this long after all those dumb questions. So maybe I'm doing something okay, but
yeah. Don't be so hard on
yeah,
yourself. One day they're going to laugh. I remember when you were, asking silly questions, and now you own this place.
right. Oh, the dumbest question. Like looking back at the questions I've asked, now that I've learned a bit more, it's just staggering. Like how silly those questions were. Like for example, what is a suspension hanger? And I get like this blank stare back. It's like, what do you mean? What is a suspension hanger?
Well, I don't know what that is, but I guess that's a silly question.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something the suspension hangs on.
Okay. So it is just like it
But
sounds. Okay.
yeah, it is. But what I meant to ask was, can you show me the suspension hanger in this drawing? But it came out as, what is a suspension
Oh.
hanger? So yeah. Anyway, yeah, we should talk about watches.
Right, yeah. So I guess I think a lot of us, as much as we love watches, are interested in a break. So obviously, you explained the reasons, like you want to spend time with your family, the precious moments you get with them, you want to be present for them. But how has your relationship with watches changed? Day to day, like you said, you just stopped to look at your Grand Seiko and get caught up in its beauty. But how about like just surfing on the internet for watches or going to your authorized dealer? We all know your many trips there, trading watches and everything. How has that relationship changed? Maybe do you have any advice for people who are looking to maybe cut back on the amount of time that they spend in the hobby? Because it can be consuming.
Yeah. Um, well, as for my trips to the AD or something, they like I'm completely off the grid. So I haven't really been to my AD except recently. Um, I haven't been there in like 6 months. Before a couple of weeks ago. So I haven't been to my AD. I haven't really talked to anyone, um, really, except for maybe the odd message to you, the odd message to Keith. Marcus, I occasionally message. So like yeah, except for the odd messages, and usually it's because they message me first. So if I log on to my computer and I see a message, then it gives me like that. Okay, I gotta quickly message them back, kind of thing.
Right.
um, but yeah, other than that, there hasn't really been much space in my mind for watches. But that's not to say that I'm no longer a watch enthusiast because um, I did make some changes with my collection as well, and I've noticed things have changed, especially when I'm not looking at it in terms of reviewing or um, yeah, in terms of like a hyper enthusiast. Like
Right.
I think a lot of us are not just watch enthusiasts, but maybe a hyper watch enthusiast. I don't know, um, but when I change to just a watch enthusiast, if I'm making a new category, um, I noticed I wear my watches for longer periods of time because I used to swap them out like Tic Tacs. Like I come home from work and put on a new watch, and I feel like a different watch closer to the end of the night, so I put on a new watch then. And now I'm just I find the watch that I want to wear for like 2, 3, 4 weeks, and I wear that watch, mainly out of convenience for one, because it's wound up, it's ready to go, and you know it's good for a few weeks. And when I get a moment to just sit and think about watches, then I can swap out my watch, get the other another watch ready for the next few weeks. So that's been like a huge change, and it also made me look at my collection thinking, why do I have like it's gonna take me a year to rotate through these, uh, or not a year, but I was already getting pretty low in terms of watches, but I was looking to add like the Cartier Santos and Rolex Explorer or something. I was looking to add watches, but yeah, the longer I spent with a watch, the less need I felt to have that many watches. So I actually got rid of another one, so I'm down to three main watches now.
Wow.
Um, not counting like the significant watches, like
Right.
the uh, Super Mario Bros. G-Shock that you gave me. I still have that
It's
still in
so
my
ugly.
drawer.
So ugly.
So ugly, yet it's so beautiful in the sense of what it means to me, and um, what it means to me in terms of who gave it to me, and what it means to me in terms of Mario.
Right.
Mario's the best. um, but Chaz gave me a G-Shock. It was the Bamford limited edition
Yes.
6900. I actually gave that away to there was a missionary who, well, he wouldn't consider himself a missionary, but he was a missionary who was visiting, and he I commented on a watch that was on his wrist, and then he looked at the watch on my wrist, which happened to be the G-Shock that Chaz gave me, and I just gave it to him. I'm sorry, Chaz. I miss it. but
Well, I'm sure
but
Chaz
he
would be
was
cool
such
with
a
that.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
such a sweet guy, and he is yeah, it's just out of love for him. I gave it to that gentleman.
Well,
So
that's the best part of
Chaz,
the
I
hobby,
hope that
gifting watches. That's why I felt so good giving you that Mario watch. And I remember I had a Budweiser G-Shock of all things that I have a friend who really likes Budweiser. So I just gave that to him because I bought it. I was like, why did I buy this? This is stupid. I don't even like Budweiser. I'm never going to wear this. Uh,
Right.
the coolest part
Yeah.
was the box was actually like a can, looked like a can of
Oh,
Budweiser.
really?
So you open the can and then the watch was there. That was the coolest part. But like he would really he's probably never worn it, but he can put it in his man cave or something, and it's a cool display thing because he's very well known among all of our friends as a lover of Budweiser. So,
Oh, really?
but yeah, I don't know. That's the best part. I bet Chaz would be super cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I think so. Yeah.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right though. Giving is like gifting watches is such a nice thing to do too.
Yeah.
Even with people who don't really appreciate watches, like your friend.
Yeah.
But it's just yeah, it feels good to give.
Yeah, I think that they know like that I'm into watches or you're into watches, so it's something that you bought and you thought enough of them, or it reminds you of them, and that's why you gave it to them. So yeah, gift, any gift. It doesn't have to be a watch. Any gift is like, oh, somebody's thinking of me, and that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's nice to be thought of in a nice way, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're sending me hate and vitriol and putting a curse on me or something, I guess I don't like it.
So yeah, that was a biggest change, that I would wear a watch for 3 to 4 weeks in a row, and um and yeah, at the same time I found myself reverting back to liking bracelets, and also reverting back to thinking accuracy is really important now.
Okay.
Obviously, because 3 weeks is
Yeah.
you know, it's a pretty big amplifier when it comes to inaccuracy. So I was warming up to the 6R35 again, and that went right out the window. No 6Rs for me. So yeah, no Seikos in my collection, just the Grand Seiko. The other thing was the size of a watch. Like when I swore off the Speedmaster because it was just too big, like just a hair too big, and that means a lot less now to me because I don't take as many wrist shots anymore, so I don't see what the camera sees.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, a distortion from the camera lens that makes a watch tend to look a little bit bigger, especially if you are super close and stuff like that. So when I'm looking, I'm able to look at the watch as a unit on my wrist a bit more than what the picture says about that watch on my wrist. It's more of an issue with a smaller wrist like mine and a rounder wrist. So yeah, so for a larger wrist, you can probably disregard this entirely, or even like a hair bigger than mine. You can disregard the camera thing, but yeah, it was a big deal. Being able to see the watch on its own, like without the camera doing its tricks on you, So when I look at the watch on my wrist, it's actually the watch on my wrist. So I bought a Speedmaster again.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks. Not the white dial one. When I saw the white dial one, it was kind of a shock because it came out of nowhere. And I only saw it like a couple of weeks ago. But the white dial one was really nice, but it like reignited my desire for the regular Speedy Pro. So for the 200th time, the Speedy Pro is back in my collection.
Did you go with Hesselite or Sapphire?
Sapphire.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I would like the Hesselite. I like the way it looks a little bit better, but I think the added bonus of seeing the case back, as shallow as that may seem, seeing the movement behind, which is pretty nice. It's nice to see the chronograph movement. So I think that turned me towards the Sapphire instead of the Hesselite.
Right. I mean, the dial of the Speedmaster is, not as beautiful as a Grand Seiko that you can just stop and admire for a second, but you can turn it over, and that 3861 is a gorgeous movement. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's really well done. I know you can take the sapphire case back, put it on the Headlight. I believe you can do that pretty easily now. It
Yeah.
wasn't so possible with the previous generation, but it's easier. I don't have time to mess around with that right now. So, yeah, yeah. Thank you. It's been really nice having the Speedmaster again. So I wore it straight for 2 weeks, which is big, right? The only watch in my
Yeah,
collection.
that is big.
Yeah, and I put the Grand Seiko back on. I think a few days ago. So yeah, those are like the bigger changes I've noticed from switching over or from slowing down dramatically, from being like a super hyper watch enthusiast to not so much. I mean, just a regular enthusiast, or more of a normie than I used to be,
Do you
which
feel
wasn't very
like
normal.
not producing YouTube content has slowed you down a little bit too? Like maybe, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the back of your mind you made a lot of changes in your collection just so you could have some YouTube content. I don't know if that's true or not, but do you think maybe just not making as many videos or any videos has helped you slow down?
Um, Not. I don't think so. No, because I think I was already coming to that realization when I kept saying around the time where I kept saying I'm a new man. Because I am a new man, not the man I thought I was a few months ago, but but yeah, I think that because I was already shifting away from buying just to make videos, I think that was like a process of about a year, maybe let's say the 2023 year, where I was realizing I can't, I don't want to buy and sell or buy and trade just to make content, you know. Especially because live streams were already fun and it was letting me get out that the conversations I wanted to have, or the ideas that I had about watches, rather than relying on the reviews. Um, yeah, the live streams actually helped a lot with that shift. Um, so yeah, I'd say I was already on that road to not buying or trading just for content. So I don't think stopping making videos has really changed that very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some other friends who did that. One guy in particular had a YouTube channel, still has it, but bought a lot of watches, and then he just got like bogged down. So he's pretty much completely stopped buying and just kind of going through what he has. He has a lot of watches, but that's one of the reasons I never got into YouTube because I know myself. I would
Yeah.
justify buying watches. It's for the channel, I would totally do that. I know I would. So
Oh, I did that.
yeah, topical
I
podcast is
in
more my thing.
yeah. I did that like early days of the channel. Like, was it 2018, 2019? That's when I was like hunting for the Seikos and the brand new Seikos just for content. Um but yeah, now it's just that's no way to live.
Yeah, it's not, especially, I mean, selling was easier back then. It was sort of the gravy train days, especially like once we got to 2020, and pandemic was obviously a horrible time, but in terms of watches, I mean, it was pretty easy to not lose your shirt on a watch if you just bought it for a while, used it for content, or even just wore it for a bit and then moved on to the next thing. It's a lot harder to dump something now. I mean, most secondhand dealers aren't even paying cash anymore. They're only doing trade.
Oh, really?
Crown and Caliber used to, obviously we see where it led them, but gosh, I did really well with some watches I sold to Crown and Caliber.
Huh.
They were paying just great money for stuff. Didn't matter the brand, Rolex. I think I sold Cartier, Omega to them. Did really well on everything. And, those days are long gone.
So the watch market is really that bad, eh?
I mean, it's a good time to be a buyer for sure. There's deals out there, no question. I sold one watch this year. I bought the Hermes H08, and I moved on from that. And I offered it. It was like, I don't know, I want to say $1,000 less than I saw online. Like I found the lowest online price, and I went lower than that. And and I had a heck of a time moving on from it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
getting lowballed. The best I can do is this, and it's way low. And I said, well, at first I just completely dismissed those, but then a little while later I went back with my tail between my legs and said, yeah, I guess I'll do that. And it ended up being a local deal, and it was good. But yeah, it was that just reinforced. I'm trying to buy keepers. I missed on that one. Live and learn. But yeah, for the most part, that I've only bought 5 watches this year and just sold that one. So really
Oh,
slowed down.
yeah. I what did I buy this year? I the Aquaterra is already gone. Um,
Oh, yeah,
the
that's what you bought
red
when you
Aquaterra.
resurfaced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's I did move on from. So I yeah, I had some accuracy issue with that. It was like plus 9 seconds a day, which wasn't a big deal, like normally.
Yeah,
But
out of its spec though.
yeah,
Yeah.
4 seconds faster than a TAS. But yeah, after 2 weeks, it was so fast. Like after 3 weeks, forget about it.
Yeah, wow.
It's like this is not sustainable. Again, not a huge issue. It was just it made it easier to move on from. I would have been happy to keep it if I couldn't work out a deal with my AD for the Speedmaster. I would have been happy to keep it and waited for the Speedmaster or for another opportunity or something. But yeah, because I was able to make a deal, then the Aquaterra was gone. I don't regret it really because I was getting annoyed with resetting it every few
Right.
days. um, but in terms of purchases, I guess the Aquaterra is one, and then the Speedmaster. I don't know if I got anything other than that. I think that was it.
I can't remember
So
your activity earlier in the year before things got really busy for you. Yeah, I can't remember if you
yeah,
bought anything or not.
I don't think so because I was saving up for the Cartier
Right,
Santos.
right. You are a
For
new
the
man
Rolex
already by
Explorer.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah.
new man. So I had completely halted like my buying or trading, and I got rid of the Zenith. Zenith is dead to me.
Oh, that's right. I remember when they're kind of dead to me too. I've never been a huge fan, but I don't know. Some of the stuff they're doing, and they may watch with Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know.
Who's that?
Oh, he's a
Who's
football
there?
player. Yeah.
Okay.
They did a Chronomaster Sport like green. He played for the Packers, which is the nemesis of the Detroit Lions. So now he plays for the New York Jets. I have family members and friends who root for the Jets, so I feel kind of dirty like cheering for the Jets, but I do despite the fact that he's there. But anyway, they did make a watch in collaboration with him, version of the Chronomaster Sport, a green one. It's actually a pretty nice looking watch, but
Okay.
and my salesperson at Topper actually like met him at an event like launching that watch and said he was really nice, and he is a Zenith ambassador and watch enthusiast, so that's cool at least. But yeah, other than that,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't know. I've never really been I've never owned one. I've never really been into the brand all that much. But yeah, I remember you saying
Oh,
that.
like the the original Zeniths, like the 384 with the Panda Panda El Primero.
Yeah.
It was so nice. In the original, like El Primero's, like the first one. I forget the reference numbers, but those are like the heyday. And then they did some weird stuff with the dodecagon Zenith watches.
Yep.
Do you remember those? Those were kind of ugly, but some people liked it, and they're kind of cool and quirky, right? And then they did the Chronomaster Sport, which is fine. Everyone says it's a Rolex Daytona knockoff. Or not everyone says that, but it really isn't, right?
They're impressive in person too. They're really nice in person.
Yeah. They're good looking watches, and if you really look at them, they're pretty different.
Yeah.
And then they did the watch that I loved, and still love. It's the Skyline. What do you call it? The Royal Oak knockoff, which isn't a Royal Oak knockoff, right?
Right.
The
Integrated bracelet
oh man,
style look.
yeah,
And yep.
and it's different. Like
Yep.
the dial is different. It's its own Zenith um, take. Like it's a good looking watch. It's really well done. Um, and then they release the other stuff, right? And they all come out together. It's the the Royal Oak offshore lookalike and couple of other things.
Is it divers this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Royal Oak. It was just like a bunch of things I can't quite remember because I've been kind of removed from it. But I remember like I had a visceral reaction when they all came out together. I was just like, this is, one or two. That's fine. But when the whole collection becomes like other watches, other people's watches lookalikes,
Yeah.
then you've kind of lost something. And yeah, that's where I kind of wrote off.
Are they
Zenith.
digging back into their catalog when all watches looked like that? I don't know enough. I'm asking more than. Is that what they're doing? Because everything kind of looked like that in the 70s. There was that sort of integrated bracelet, era where, the GP Laureato came out, the Royal Oak, all those things kind of looked similar. They were all, half of them were designed by the same guy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if Zenith
I don't
did that. I think they did, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, but what was it? Watches and Wonders. When they released these watches, I'm trying to do a quick search here.
Yeah, they released the divers and then some other models that all kind of look samey and look very much like other brands and other watches out there.
Yeah. Okay, so Defy Extreme Diver
Yeah.
was one that I see here. Defy Revival, I think. Yeah, I can't quite get the overview here, but okay, here we go. Every Zenith release. That's gonna hurt. This was the interview I watched actually from Tideman Tide, and I remember watching the CEO with the journalist talking about the watches and me feeling like I wanted to throw up. But yeah. Anyway, it was. I don't think they were all looked like this, especially like the offshore looking watch. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know enough, but it's just awfully similar to the big watches of today, right?
Right.
Or of last year.
I agree. I guess in a time where nobody, not saying nobody, but where people aren't buying as many watches, especially from a brand like Zenith, I guess you have to like make some concessions and just make things that will sell or have a better chance of selling. It's unfortunate, but maybe sometimes, your, I don't know what I'm trying to say, not your ethics, but just your overall business model has to change a little bit, has to shift. And maybe we put the really cool, adventurous stuff on hold right now for, bread and butter watches that will sell, that look like other things that are popular.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? That's like it's their prerogative to do that, and that's great. If they do that, it just means like we're out.
Yep.
Which is fine as well, right? It's not like we're taking this personally. We can lament like the loss of Zenith's beautiful. Well, not that we've lost them; they're still there. But maybe the image we had of Zenith is kind of tainted now, and I can speak for myself. I don't want to give up a valuable slot in my collection to that brand name anymore, as shallow as that may sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's fine if it makes them more money and if it makes them more successful, that's good for them. Let's like the car manufacturers making SUVs, right? The Ferrari SUV. Everyone is horrified that Ferrari made an SUV, but but it's making them money, and good for you, good for them. They'll
Yeah,
just lose some of the enthusiasts, but the enthusiasts aren't making them much money anyway. So,
that's right.
um, yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Oh well.
completely different view of these brands. It's obviously a business and they exist to make money. Enjoy them for sentimental reasons and for other reasons, but there's really not much sentimentality with these brands. What can we make that's going to make us money? I guess we could
Yeah.
talk about brands that are dead to us. Halloween is approaching. We are going to do maybe a Halloween themed. A brand that's kind of dead to me right now, and I guess I go through these phases. It may hurt you, it may not. Seiko, I'm just like completely off of
Oh,
Seiko right now. I don't know. I haven't bought a Seiko in over a year. I sold the SJE 093. I have one Seiko, that Orange Samurai that my wife got me when I first got into the hobby. That's the only Seiko I have. I don't really love the design language of many of the new divers from Seiko right now. I don't know. I'm just kind of off of them. I'm way more into Citizen right now. There's usually
hmm.
a shift. A watch will come along that gets me all excited about Seiko again, but I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's interesting. Um, I can see where you're coming from. Like
Yeah.
some of the newer watches that Seiko's been releasing have been, weird. Like the new Marine Masters with the 62 mass style case. It's not the prettiest looking watch, but
They just did
uh,
another Marine Master that looks better,
okay,
without like the teak kind of dial. They look closer to what the Marine Master used to look. I'm
okay,
not a huge. It's a joke at this point to like rag on the 430 date window. I don't like them in pictures online, but then in
mm,
person, it doesn't bother me. But just looking at images online of a watch right now, I just don't know like that I need to get another Seiko diver. I've had many of them. They never stick. And I guess I'm just realizing maybe I'm not as much of a Seiko guy as I want to be or I wish I was. And I know that if I get an SLA again or get another nice Seiko diver, the minute I need to free up funds, it's going to be gone. That's just
yeah,
the way it is. They don't wear as well as like the FXD on me or other watches that I like to wear. Everything I have right now is
mm,
like super comfortable. So not that Seiko divers aren't comfortable, but I just know that will be the first on the chopping block. And man, I just don't want to go down that road anymore. So maybe I've owned enough Seiko. They have a chance to like come back from the dead for me and be like a
zombie.
zombie. Yeah. My love for Seiko can be zombified. But as of right
Yeah.
now, I'm just like kind of dead on Seiko.
Hmm. So like dead, not on life support or anything.
Yeah, probably DOA right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've been kind of hankering for. I still have Seiko hankering, so I don't think they're dead to me. Um, I've been hankering for that Alpinist still. The not the recreation, the reissue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, the recreation. That's Seiko calls them weird stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the recreation. Yeah,
Yeah.
where they remade that Alpinist with the 6L movement. Um, yeah. Now that um, now that I think a bit more long term looking. I think I would like to have that 6L Alpinist back in the collection, but they're like long sold out, so I'd have to buy it secondhand, which I think I still could get a good deal. I just have to find one, um, and fully commit to the idea. But I've been tossing that idea in my head for that Alpinist again. So
Yeah.
Seiko's still good for me.
I mean, I still think they're nice looking watches, especially like I still like see like an SLA 023, the Marine Master, which I know does not work on me, but every time I see one, I'm just like, oh, it's so nice looking. Maybe, if I just concede that I can only wear it like here and there because it's so heavy, maybe,
Mm.
I could add one to my collection. But then I think like, no, because again, you're going to feel the exact same way. You're going to wear it for a day and like your wrist is going to hurt and you're going to just like be fed up and sell it for a huge loss. The one and one just came up on top or pre-owned, and I was thinking about it. The original Willard reissue, which I guess was the SLA 033, the
Oh
first
yes,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, that one is. When I got into watches, I was like, that one day I'm going to own that, and I never have. So if I saw one of those at the right price and I was financially, able to do it, I would consider it. That one might have a little more staying power, but then again, would I wear it as much as the FXD? I don't know.
Yeah.
I am all
Yeah,
about
the
having a tight rotation these days. I've been doing 7-day rotations with my watches.
wow.
And then last week I did the episode. My last episode was about because I have the Citizen high accuracy
Oh yeah.
quartz, and it was just appreciating high accuracy quartz. Got home late from work every day. Like you can't really be bothered all the time to just fiddle with an automatic watch. So man, I just love having that crazy accurate watch that I can. It's always going to be going. I leave it in a well lit room because those are Eco Drive.
Hmm.
And
I'm so glad you still have that.
oh
It's such
yeah,
a great
that's
watch.
not going anywhere. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's really beautiful. So yeah, I did my last episode was a versus 9F85 versus the Citizen, the A060 in there.
Mm.
I've been more into Grand Seiko than Seiko. I would say Grand Seiko is more alive. I'm not sure about buying one, but just appreciating them and being interested in them, it's higher than it's been in a long time for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, not the same for Seiko. But yeah, the A060 is it's a great movement. Has some caveats to reach the accuracy specs, like they say in the manual. You should wear it for 12 hours a day, which I definitely have not done. I think it's a
Wow.
body temperature thing, and then if it
Okay.
gets below a certain power level, if it gets low, then I think the compensation goes out the window, and it's not going to be crazy accurate. But as long as you wear it, I think mine's +3 since January, so that's not
Okay.
terrible. Yeah,
Oh,
probably
that's pretty
might
good.
be better if I wore it 12 hours a day, which I have not done by a long shot.
Yeah. I went through a G-Shock phase for a while. While I was MIA, I was really obsessing over G-Shock, which is really weird because I didn't really appreciate G-Shock that much. I mean, I appreciated it for, when a watch I can wear for when I'm on the lawn or doing some work. Um, but other than that, G-Shock was in the dead to me stage. But
Yeah.
it's kind of it was like a um zombie watch brand because I went nuts. Like I was looking at this G-Shock Square. G-Shock Square is usually the only watch that can fit on my wrist, but there was a really cool Japanese JDM G-Shock with red accents, and it came with a combi
Mm.
bracelet, so like the resin and metal
Yep.
composite. And yeah, it was really nice, blacked out. I was just obsessing over it so much so that I was just buying G-Shocks left, right, and center just to give away. So like half half my family is kitted out with G-Shocks
Yeah.
now. Not not my immediate family, like my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-laws. they're,
Your
they all have
mother-in-law's rocking a square. I love that.
no. She
Oh,
she has what'd she have?
Cassiope.
No, that's my wife. My wife
Okay.
has a Casio, a pink Casio. I think my mother-in-law has a square. Actually, you're right. Um, so yeah, just a crazy G-Shock phase right now,
I go through
or not right
phases with
now.
those too. You're right. I'm with you there. Sometimes they're dead to me, and sometimes they're never dead to me. But so last year for around the holidays, my wife just assumes like she'll get me a watch. Like, what watch do you want for your present this year? I said the GW 5000U, which is JDM
Okay.
has the it's screwed, the solid case back, like screwed down, I guess. And it has a really supple, soft strap. They're a little more expensive. They're like $250, but multi-band 6, solar, all that. But yeah, that strap is very comfortable. My friend checked it out. He's like, wow, this feels like really high end.
Did you say that was a square?
Yes. GW 5000U. It's widely considered probably like the best square you can buy. It's like the 5610 on steroids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. It's I would say if you're willing to spend a little bit more and you just want one like good square. I have one issue with it. So when I'm driving, if like your hand is on the wheel a certain way, the display gets distorted. Like you see every single icon, like you know how that is sometimes with those screens. And that does not happen to me on every model, but on that one, for some reason, that's probably the only bummer. If I'm driving and I want to check the time, I have to kind of tilt my arm a certain way where I can see it.
See, I bought a G-Shock for myself, which was the GWM 5610. And it does the same thing, and it really bugs me.
Yeah. So if you don't like that, then you will not like the 5000U because it does that. Yep. Yeah.
But the watch you got me, the DW 5600 SMB for Super Mario Bros. That one does not do it.
Yeah. I have a battery one as well. That I think it's the solar ones that do that because I have a battery powered one and that doesn't do that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it has to do with the solar display. But I can't remember if every solar display did that. I've owned so many. It really stuck out to me on this one.
You had a blue metal G-Shock Square, right?
I had, let's see, I had a blue camo titanium square.
Right.
Yeah. I sold that.
So
I don't remember that one doing it.
Yeah. I think you would have mentioned that if it did.
And that was a negative display. So weird. Maybe the Bluetooth equipped ones don't do that. I don't know. Who knows?
The only way we can find out is to buy more.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to tell me twice. Our next episode, we'll each buy like 10 squares and we'll do a angle test and see which ones distort when when the sun hits them a certain way, you can't see them also. Yeah.
Yeah. I got really close to buying a titanium one too.
Oh, they're good. They're so good.
Yeah. Yeah. But, the other side effect is I listen to my reasonable self a bit more now. So I stopped myself from doing that.
Yeah. I'm that way too, because the part of me that likes to buy stuff always is looking and wants, but then, I have that like shut off where I think how it will affect the way I wear my watches. And I really like wearing the watches I have right now. I'm not just saying that. I really enjoy that. So anytime something new comes in, you know what I did buy? I think, of all the watches I've actually bought, this Breitling's by far the most expensive. Most have been sort of in that affordable range. I bought the Casio Tron, the one with the blue, like ionized blue bezel. That's the first watch they ever made, Casio, in 1974. It's the 50th anniversary model. That's a really fun, cool watch. It sort of has that square display with a round dial, kind of like the Tissot digital PRX, but I don't know, this one looks much better, I think. But that's been fun to wear. That has solar, multiband 6, and Bluetooth. That does not distort in the in angles either. I've tested it.
So I see. Oh, that's a really cool watch.
Yeah, they're cool.
It looks like a hair puller, though. Is it?
No, the bracelet's actually very nice and very comfortable. It's high polished, very nice clasp on it too, with like that quartz design sort of, engraved all over the clasp. Really nice case back on there too. So they did 2 of those now. I got the second one they did. They just released a third actually. That's all blacked out, like DLC, and that has a negative display. I know not everybody loves the negative display. I think that one looks pretty cool too. But
whoa, milled clasp.
Yeah, very nice clasp. I did a local watch meetup and I showed it to everybody. Was amazed at the clasp. It's really nice. They're nice on the titanium squares and the full metal G-Shocks too.
Yeah.
But this is
Oh,
not a
this is
G-Shock. It's just a
on the G-Shock website though. They might
yeah,
consider it
yeah,
there.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's real. Yeah,
Oh,
I've scratched that. Those polished center links. I've definitely scratched those up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good
pretty
looking watch.
blingy little watch, but I like it. Kind of a fluted internal bezel too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks very 80s or 70s.
yeah, definitely. That's a fun watch to. I just wore it the other night. No,
Yeah.
again quartz, and obviously that one's multiband 6 has been really spotty at my house. Um,
Oh, really?
that, but yeah, that you can connect that one to the app and every so often just to get it right on. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, G Shocks are that might be the way I go. Just buy a G Shock once in a while and yeah, give it away when I feel like I have too many.
Yeah. Have you noticed that G-Shock? I don't know if it's normal in your location, but G-Shocks are like disappearing from stores.
Yes. Yep.
That's you've noticed that too?
Yeah, like even like Walmart even has Casio display, and they're very barren. They're giving them away basically all the time on Facebook. You see people finding Duros for like $11 at Walmart. I think pretty soon you will not see. Maybe you'll see like the A168 or those Casio Royales, but yeah, Walmart used to have G Shocks. They don't have them anymore. They have just the F91Ws and stuff. But yep, I've seen that. I don't know about. I know you can find them at like Dick's Sporting Goods and that kind of thing. I don't know about that, but from your WalMarts and stuff, they're definitely disappearing. I think that'll
Yeah.
be a thing of the past soon.
So do you think they're trying to move up market kind of? Take
That
it to more luxury?
yeah, I don't know whose side that's on. Walmart just saying like nobody buys these things. We don't want them anymore, or
Well, on our end, like in Canada, they're they used to be everywhere in our department store, which we call the Bay, which is kind of like your Macy's. Um, they used to be everywhere. Like the newest G Shocks would be right there on display, very very soon after they're released. And they have not replenished stock in every single bay that I've been to, in like at least in my area. They're just gone.
huh?
They have three models left that no one wants to buy, and they just sit there forever. Like three watches. That's all my local bay has. And if I drive around, I'll get to a few other places where they might have a couple of metal G Shocks, but they're just gone. And even in like you could pay a bit too much and buy it from the store called Zumiez or something. I'm not sure. It's like a skater store. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
guys have that there. And they used to have G Shocks in there. They still do have a couple, but
huh?
they're just like to get a G Shock now. You kind of have to go to gshock.ca,
Yeah.
which I find very interesting.
Casio is
Because
a
before,
terrible website to buy from. I don't know how it is in Canada, but here in the States, it's I got I
yeah,
ordered that Casiotron like right when it came out. I got a back order email later in the day or the next day saying my order was canceled because this item's on back order, and I was like,
oh,
okay. And then the next day, I got a message saying it was out for delivery. Like, and then I got it. So it made no sense.
did you get the refund too? Because
Yeah, that
that'd
would
be
be nice.
hilarious.
Yeah. Free watches. Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, buying from, so I typically have got them from Amazon, but
Okay.
I haven't checked Macy's to be honest. So I'll have to check. I know they used to have
Yeah.
quite a few. Last time I went to Macy's, I actually recognized the Seiko collection was very slim. I remember when I first got into watches, they had turtles, samurais, all that kind of stuff, and they had mainly just the fashiony models. The
Yeah.
last time I went, very little like prospect stuff.
Yeah. I've noticed that too. Like the Seiko section in our Macy's or our Bay is Seiko fives, like
Yeah,
the 5KXs. So they used to have samurais and turtles, like you said, but those are long gone.
yeah.
But as we have a Belova section, um, And those have some really nice like enthusiast watches,
Huh.
like the oceanographer and a couple of things that you don't normally see in like a department store
Oh
or you
yeah,
wouldn't
that's
expect to
cool.
see.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
you'll see like a lunar pilot there.
Yeah.
Yep, the
Yep.
devil diver.
Yes.
Yeah, trying to think of some other things. Yeah, it's Macy and Macy's website. You can get even other brands like I think sometimes you can even find like Longines or Mito. Some of the Swatch
Okay.
stuff you can find, but never in the store. I've never seen that stuff in the store. I remember our Macy's in the mall had Alpina for a while, Citizen. I had never heard of Alpina, and this was when $1,000 was like sticker shock. And I remember seeing Alpina and like, oh, that's a nice looking watch. Then, whoa, I would never pay that much for a watch. That was very early days, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
I was just gonna say I remember like in the bigger Bay stores here, they have like Tissot's, Longines, Alpina, or they used to. Um, I would like to double check and go down to like the Eaton Center and see what they still have there. Because yeah, it's been a weird time for watches, at
yeah,
least easily available watches. Because the nice thing about Macy's or the Bay is that they constantly have like ridiculous sales, like 30% off, and then if you're a member, you get another 15% off, and then you can get like a Seiko 5 for 45% off, or a G-Shock for a good chunk of money off. That was great, but no longer, I guess. I'm lamenting the passing of those days.
I bought my wife. My wife discovered the Citizen Soyosa, and
Okay.
she around Labor Day. I found one. It's our anniversary is right around Labor Day, so she found the Tiffany Blue Soyosa. She's like, I really like this. I said it wears big. She likes bigger watches. She's not a fan of like traditional ladies' watches that are small. She likes a good 40 millimeter watch. Um, so I bought that for her, and yeah, after like from I think Jared, I went to Jared, uh, and that's like a jewelry store here. I don't know if they're in Canada. Um, $300, little less than $300, and that's a great watch. She was like, "This is my nicest watch." Like, yeah, it's amazing how nice they are. We
Yeah.
have the same size wrist, so I have yet to steal it, but I plan on it one of these days.
Does she wear a watch to work?
No, she's in the operating room. She can't. She'll mainly just wear like an Apple Watch, if anything. But I
Oh,
think she
okay,
has to
yeah.
take it off, like if she's actually in the operating room. But most of the time when
Right.
she's tooling around, she has a watch on. She's way into. She likes Timex. Timex is doing these watches for women with this designer, Jacquet something. I can't think of the name. Jacquet. Jacques, I don't know how you say it, but they're actually they're limited runs. They sell out pretty fast. They're actually going for more money over retail in most cases on eBay. And
Hmm.
she has every single one of them. They're a date just knockoff. If I'm being honest,
Oh.
that's what they look like. She doesn't care about that. But she
Oh yeah.
likes it. But they have like this designer's artwork on the dial. So they're pretty cool. And she's bought almost all of them. And yeah, I bought a couple for her for gifts and stuff, but she likes those. So yeah, she has way more watches than I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's you're rubbing off on her.
Yeah. I think she's rubbing off on me. I buy less, she buys more. The ones I buy are way more expensive though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't
I
it
guess
always?
we've been going on a long time. I'm not sure what we talked about. I don't really care what we talked about. I just care that I'm talking to you. It's been so good. So,
Yeah.
in closing here, what does the future hold for you in the watch hobby? Do you think
Oh, I would like to get a White Dial Speedmaster.
they're nice?
I don't know if that would be sustainable with a black dialed Speedmaster Pro in my collection, but um yeah, I'd like to at least see one first before making a solid decision. But the white dial is like everything I asked for because the applied indices, the nicer Speedy Pro case. I don't quite like the new FOIS. Um, so I think I'm hoping. the fact that the new FOIS is coming out or is out will take the heat off the white dial, and I'll be able to see it more. Maybe pick one up.
Yeah, they're a little less expensive, right? The first Omega in space.
Yeah, by like a couple of $100 though. So
how do you feel about the Fotina on there? I kind of like it. I guess it's divisive, but I don't know. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, I like Fotina. Yeah. I don't consider it. Yeah, I think we talked about this a while ago. It's just a color.
Yeah, it's a different lume color essentially.
Color. Yeah, it's a nice looking color.
I think it gives character to watches, especially like if it's a black dial watch or something. Adds a little pop. I don't mind it at all. The white dial is nice though.
Yeah, there's a reason why people find patina desirable, right?
Yes,
it's pretty looking when that old tritium paint fades or denatures. It looks good.
Yeah.
So it's the reason why people like it.
And I mean, a lot of these watches, that's not going to happen because of the materials they're made with, and the chances of that happening are slim. They may look new for much longer, these modern watches. So hey, why not add a little Fotina? I'm cool with it. I think on a watch like the Speedmaster, I think maybe it doesn't work in all cases, but on the Speedmaster, I'm all for it. I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your future of, how about, no pressure, but how about like, as far as the channel goes?
Oh, I have, I don't know. I want to return, but I don't want to have another false start.
Right.
I feel like I had a couple of false starts. So I think what I'm going to do is lay low and try to get to a point in my job, because I'm still studying a lot. Try to get to a point in my job where I'm super confident, not super confident, at least passively confident, and then I can look towards coming back, which I hope to do sooner rather than later. But I don't want to give false hope or anything like that. Not that seeing me as hope to anyone, but
oh gosh, are you kidding? You underestimate how much people just love you, and I don't know. We weren't friends when I first discovered your channel, and I just identified with you reviewed a lot of the watches I was looking at, which was, you were like the only one who reviewed like the SBGP 015 and that lacquer dial Seiko Presage. Can't remember maybe the SPB 111, was it maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And then I remember you're being mad at Oris for you. And then we, I think we connected in live streams or something. And here we are these years later. And I think you feel like a friend to people even that don't know you on that level. So you underestimate people understand, but you're missed. And again, no pressure to come back. But people love you, and there's a reason your channel is as big as it is, and you're an endearing figure. So I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's all true.
Thank you. You're too kind. But what plans do you have? I forgot to ask.
For your collection. Really, probably nothing for a while now. This B01, I got a good deal on it, but it's an inexpensive watch, so. I have some other expenses and life expenses coming up here. So yeah, probably gonna lay low. I'm still on the list for that titanium Yachtmaster. Baller collectors are just getting them or have not even gotten them yet. So
really,
I'm probably way down the line. I think my interest in that is waning. I don't know. I'm not as excited about it as I've actually thought about withdrawing my interest. But I'm not sure. I don't know. And in terms of the podcast, I'm with you. This is my last restart, and it's going well so far. 10 weeks in a row now, I've released a podcast. But I wanted to give it one more shot of being consistent. And if I feel like it's too much, then that's it. Because I'm doing the inconsistent thing. I've done that. This over 4 years I've been doing the podcast, just hitting 100 episodes now. I should be over 200 at this point. So, yeah, no more false starts. I'm with you there. I felt like I could do it. I'm getting better at time management and everything in general. So I felt like this was my best chance. Plus, I think of ideas all day, and I had a good like 7 or 8 ideas in the hopper. So, and those kind of came out pretty easily, and it's fun thinking of ideas. But yeah, if I get to a point where I just feel like I can't do it anymore, that'll be it. The podcast will be done. So,
Ooh, ominous.
Yeah,
ultimatum.
let's. My goal is to do like a year in a row, like 52 episodes in a row, not take a week off, and then we'll see if it grows. You know, when I stopped last fall, I was getting the most downloads I'd ever gotten, and it's been slow to reach those numbers again. I think I went away for 6 months again, and people left or whatever. So
I'm glad you're back at it. 10 weeks in a row is pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's a pretty good start for me. So
yeah.
But well, episode 100, I had to have you on. I know you have a very busy life and a lot going on, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join me this morning. We got over the technical glitches, and I love you, man. Thank you for coming on.
Love you too, sir. I'm grateful to be here, and you're infinitely valuable.
Thank you. We missed hearing that. We forget that sometimes. It's nice to hear that, and yeah, and so are you. And like I said, you're valuable to all of us in the hobby, and everyone's going to love hearing your voice on here, and hopefully we get to see your face again one day soon too.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Episode 100 in the books. We'll be back next week with another brand new episode. Until then, I'll catch you next week on another episode of the Watchdog Podcast. See you later.